welcome to the Manchester United agenda. I hope you're all well. I'm a very, very lucky boy tonight because I'm joined by OMONDI and Dora. So let's start with our guest first. Dora, how are you?
I'm great. I started talking, very long about what I'm reading in my free time. So sorry about that. But yeah, I'm feeling great. And I'm always happy to be on agenda, of course, with you guys especially.
We're always delighted to have you, Dora, especially for a Liverpool match preview. OMONDI, how has your day been? What have you been up to?
Holding fort. I've been looking after about 100 people, carrying that weight of the project, all on my shoulders because we've had a member of staff leave and it's all down to me. I've had to cover shifts. I've had to deal with crisis. I've had to sort of counsel people. I've just done it all today, and I still feel fresh as a daisy, as they say. Just want to say, bath time, you're acting like Angel Gabriel to Muhammad. Read. I don't even know about that, but that's the story of Gabriel to Muhammad in the game. Read, forcing them to read. And you're right, though. You're right. We had a discussion backstage about reading, and it's very important. It stimulates the mind. It really helps as well. Sort of read aloud. When I was reading really well, was with my baby son. I used to read baby stories to him, and that's how I learned. If you're asking why I speak so well today, it's usually because of that, because of my reading to a baby. But I'll just tell you a quick story. I've always been like nervous in school when they say stand up and read. I was anxious to do that. But since I've been doing the Man United agenda, and obviously since you read to your children and that kind of thing, you get more animated, and you don't just read. You have to be a bit more animated when someone's talking, do it in their voice, build it up, have a bit of tension. It's really important to read, and I would advise everyone out there to sort of get a book and start reading it and start getting involved in some sort of project. Thanks to Bath Time, he's inspired us all, hasn't he, Dora?
What happened is I had a very long conversation with Dora a day or two ago about June, right? And Dora wanted to know a few things and my opinion on stuff because I've read the book. And for my own entertainment, I told Dora she needs to read more because a lot of people on social media don't seem to read. But look, reading is how you get access to new ideas, and it's very important. So if anyone's in chat and they've got a good book on the go, feel free to tell us about it because it's always fun to be exposed to things that you're not normally exposed to. And speaking of reading, we're going to do the comments, gang. So first up, we got Yali. After 30 minutes of play, Liverpool are 4-0 up and they're coming to Old Trafford. I'm afraid we're going to be tossed into the pit against Lions. God, what a way to start the show. But we got Matty Bassett, who's saying good evening all, and he's bigging everyone on the show and in chat. He also says we need a miracle. And we got Stephanie Griffith, who's saying big up OMONDI, Bath Time, Dora, the Man United chat, everyone. And then, of course, the beggar at the feast, Bart. He's been waiting for this show for a very, very long time. You know what, Bart? This show is really good tonight because a lot of it is going to focus on a dog that I like. Other things. And we've also got a new addition to the United Agenda family. It's Early Doors Football. He's on the takeaway with Mr. B a lot. And to be honest, it's become a bit of a fan favourite. I'm a big fan of Early Doors TV. And he's saying big up to the real ones, Yabba, Bath Time and Dora. Good to see you all. Steph is telling us how many likes we've got, which is always nice. And Early Doors is saying good evening to everyone in chat. Look, Bart is already deviating off topic. Tonight, Bart, it's a preview. So we're gonna get into it, and there's a bit of reading. So this is what I have for you tonight. Okay, we're going to talk about injuries, angry home fans, tactics, predictions, dog of the week, and important dogs from history. That's the kind of show we have for you tonight. So Dora, what stands out for you there?
Well, the only reason why I came on this stream tonight was because of those two last topics. So I'm waiting. I'm very eagerly waiting for those last two topics. But well, and you know what? At the side, we can talk about Manchester United against Liverpool. So it'll be interesting. But yeah, in all, this isn't. I'm not joking. I'm actually really looking forward to those last two topics. But of course, it's always I think angry home fans is going to be a good topic as well, because I just read it. I think an hour ago that people, we will talk about it more. But
Yeah.
that's a really interesting topic as well.
Important dog from history is going to be an absolute barnstormer. By the way, it's really, really good. Amonde, you're probably excited about the dogs the most, aren't you?
Most certainly, I'm a dog lover. And yeah, anything to do with dogs, I'm down with. Let's. I'm just really excited. Just want to know where you're going. Important dogs from history. That's I'm really racking my brains about that. So can we save that till last?
Yeah, no, that is definitely last. And
right.
There's a couple that I could have done, but this is a good one, and I think that everyone will come out. Really, I think everyone's going to like this one. And look, we've got Yali's popped in because his dog is Balto, the hot dog thief. Yali, send pictures to me. Like you'll see my Twitter account up there somewhere, and we'll have you on dog, and we can have Balto as dog of the week next week. Look at this. You get like Stephanie Griffiths saying thought Dora was going to say she had nothing better to do.
I mean, it's either this or watching Pretty Little Liars. I hate myself for watching that, but I'm watching it. I don't care. I'm reliving my high school years. Yes, I'm reliving my high school years. It's so dumb, but it's really addictive. So yeah.
Is that the show where all the cast got done for like flashing or something, and
no,
loads of mug shots of them?
No. That's Vampire Diaries. But yes, I am a girl who grew up during the end of 2000s, teenage years, end of 2010s. So you get it. You people in the chat who are my age will get it. So yeah, but it was the Vampire Diaries cast, not Pretty Little Liars.
Very, very important. All right, one day.
Wait. Did you say Vampire Diaries?
Yes.
So okay, what was all this thing about vampire? Because there was a time when there's loads of vampire shows, and one of the guys, maybe one of the guys they fancied him. Looked a bit like
Twilight.
Yeah. I was thinking, what's the rage of all these vampire movies? What's all that about? I don't know.
I mean, yeah, it's a topic for another stream.
Yeah.
This is a really good joke, by the way. Shout out to Michael Hill. That is a 10 out of 10. Liverpool. I'm extremely impressed with that.
It's going to be dog puns all throughout the show today.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the injuries. The cavalry are coming on Monday.
Woo!
Right, so we know who is out. Mount, Forson, Shaw, Malacia, Martinez, Martial. It doesn't matter if the second coming of Jesus happens and he lays his hands on Martial. He ain't playing this game on Sunday. Oh, and also it's the game will be finished on Sunday. There's no replay. It's extra time and pens.
Right.
So strap in. But Maguire, Wan-Bissaka, and Rasmus Højlund are all in contention and expected to feature in some way on Monday.
Yeah, that's really good news, isn't it? I heard that Højlund was going to be back at the end of the month. Out to 3 players there, I'm more excited about Højlund coming back. Yeah, because we're missing a striker. We haven't got that sort of main striker in the squad. And since Martial's been injured, we knew that Højlund was like really precious because he was the only one. He's the one, like Neo, or whatever his name is from Matrix. He's the one. Harry Maguire, granted, we've got to send him back.
He isn't the one.
And Aaron Wan-Bissaka, it's been a long time coming, but he's back. So welcome back, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Dalot's been doing all the donkey work for you. Has there ever been a time when both of them have been fit? Because it always seems like one or the other's out with those two. But yeah, welcome back, Harry Maguire and Aaron Wan-Bissaka. But definitely welcome back, which is really important for this game, which is a massive game, I must say. Probably game of the season for us so far, because we need this FA Cup. If we beat Liverpool, it will give us a big lift, and maybe we can get on some better form going forward.
All right, Dora, do you want to talk about injuries, or do you want me to show you comments about vampire shows?
I would love the comments first.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So Yali is saying that Twilight was not a vampire show. Nope. A vampire doesn't sparkle in sunlight; they burst into fire. Thoughts on this, Dora?
I mean, there were a lot of, parodies on Twilight movies. If anyone remembers Vampire Sucks, I don't remember No Power Vampire. A lot of memes during that era came out of those movies. So yeah, there is. There is a whole thing that the main vampire, Robert Pattinson or Edward Cullen, is sparkling when he comes to the sun. So yeah, hence why this is a joke.
What is it? Blagojevich? Yeah, is there not a Serbian vampire called Blagojevich or something like that?
Probably, I don't know. In all honesty, I don't know.
Okay, all right. Well, Steph is saying that you can't beat the Underworld films.
First one was amazing, but the other two, they were. Kim Basinger, not Kim Basinger. Who is
Kate Beckinsale? Beckinsale.
Not is she? I can't remember. I need to Google it, but I think she was. Yeah.
No, it's not. It's someone else, isn't it?
Wait. Just give me 2 seconds.
All right. Whilst you're doing that, football comments. Quaylen won't play the full game. I completely agree with you there, Rajat, and will not play Maguire, Wan-Bissaka, both okay. And he thinks that maybe we can win. We deserve better. Delo left back, Aaron Wan-Bissaka right back, possible. Steph saying strength at fullback and Rasmus's return is vital. And then it's Kate Beckinsale and Michael Pitt. Yeah, she's lovely. And we deserve better is saying Blade was a good vampire film. Blade is one of my favourite films ever because it's just so stupid. And I often think, right, have you seen the beginning of it? They go into a vampire disco and there's like blood going off everywhere from the sprinklers. I always think that that's what Luke Shaw's house is like, but instead of blood, it's just custard. He's just
You're evil. Evil. Oh my God.
True Blood.
I remember HBO show.
What We Do in the Shadows is brilliant, by the way. It's a really funny TV program, and we've also got Yali saying True Blood. I'm a big fan of that. Right, unfortunately, boys, we have to get away from talking about things we like to talking about Manchester United. All right, so Dora, this is good news, I think, isn't it?
I think so. I think that I'm still unsure because about Wan-Bissaka, for example, because he hasn't played since when? Since January, if I'm not mistaken, or even before. So it will be strange to put him, in the first 11 immediately, since he's not match fit, and this will be a really tough game. Especially coming back after 2-3 months of being out. But I think with the way our situation is, I think there is a huge possibility that Ten Hag is just going to put him in the right back and Dalo is going to be on the left back position with Lindelof and Ambra, but just doesn't work in my opinion. And I think this is a plus. I think any injured player that comes back into the squad during this time of the season is always a plus. Harry Maguire coming back as well is going to be a boost. I think that this season he has been quite solid. He had some, like everyone else, he had some few hiccups, especially in the last 2 games before he got injured, but overall he was solid, and probably with Johnny Evans our best performing center back. So it will be, I think everything is a boost, especially in the defense. When it comes to Højlund, we obviously miss his goals, we miss his movement, because you could clearly see that Rashford doesn't work as the number 9. Ten Hag realized that 2 games ago, and he tried with Bruno as a false 9 or against City, and the last game I didn't watch Everton game because I was away, but I saw that again he started, how do you say it, experimenting in the attack, and he didn't play with the traditional number 9. So it will be interesting to see. Maybe we shouldn't go that or rush Højlund in this team immediately, because first of all he had a muscle injury, and I think that is a huge risk, especially against Liverpool.
Should we save that for the solo 11?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. We will save it. But yeah, I think every comeback is a boost. Yeah,
it's a good point, Dora, and I want to explore it in its own centerpiece. All right, Liverpool. This is quite good news. Matip, Alisson, Jota, Trent, Jones, Gravenberch, Thiago, all out. Konate is 50-50, and Jadon Dans, their young Tyro, is also a doubt. And this is coming from premierinjuries.com. Does this look good, Omondi? Those are a lot of decent players that Liverpool are missing there.
They're playing tonight, and they're playing a weaker team. There's no Virgil. But when you think about the centre-back partnerships, Matip being out, he's injury-prone. He's always out. But Konate is a big miss for them because they've got the youngster playing there, and that will give us some encouragement, I think, to be able to get at them. There's a bit of weakness there. Trent being out, that's good for us. And Jones, I think, has been sensational since he's come into the side. I never thought he was outstanding, but he's obviously got favour of the manager, and by playing consistently, he's proved to be a really good player in the midfield for them. Gravenberch, we know about him. He played for Ajax. We were interested in him as well. But Alisson as well is a big miss. So we have, over the season, like we've had a lot of bad injuries this season. Liverpool seem to be going through it right now. And the problem is as well, they've got other things on their mind. Not the Europa League, but the league title. They're in a title race. So I believe that they might, in the back of their minds, if there's a 50-50 or, they might just switch off for a minute. I'm quite confident about this. And this gives me a bit more confidence there, seeing these players out. So, I'm just looking for any kind of positives for this match.
Okay. Well, this is a great positive because we've had another world-class joke. Premier injuries. Very, very good.
Let's not play with the pool.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with our chatters tonight. All right,
Good.
All right, he's going to laugh for about 5 minutes now, Dora. So I'm going to skip forward to a bit of conjecture that I've come up with. So this is a tweet from 3 years ago from Nicole Deans, who is a sort of, she's a kind of social media journalist. She writes a lot of articles. Really, really good. I'd definitely check her out. I mean, Dora, have you come across her at all?
A few times. Yeah.
Lovely girl. All right. Now, I want everyone to remember that 3 years ago, Carrington was shut down, right? Fans went, they blockaded it. Matic and Ollie had to come out and basically agree with them to move. And this was the sort of the incident that led to the 1958 group, which have played they play a large role in Man United politics at the moment. And the 1958 have been active on social media today, highlighting concerns about season tickets at Old Trafford. And it is absolutely ridiculous what the club are doing. Like, one of the things that worries me about a move to a new stadium is how we're going to treat legacy fans. Like, my family had a season ticket up until the sort of the tail end of the 90s, and were sort of forced out by these rules. And Omondi, Dora, around the club, match-going fans are really unhappy with how they're being treated to season tickets and things. So with all that in mind, they issued a very ominous statement saying, "You cannot walk the line with the club and claim to represent fans. It's a line that cannot be walked. The wheels are in motion. This is a statement of intent." The 1958. Could we possibly see any disruption at the Liverpool game which we know that they were a large part in getting called off 3 years ago?
I'm not sure, honestly. I think 3 years ago, like, we had, Glazers were full, how do you say it? Full owners. This year we have new owners. We have not new owners in terms of, full new owners. Glazers are still here, but the football, like Jim Ratcliffe stuff, everyone knows that, 25%, Sir Phil Bradsfold, these guys are, trying to kickstart a new wave in the footballing department of Manchester United. As you said earlier, we heard that they are planning on a new Old Trafford that will be built in the future. Apparently, those are the rumors and the news. And I'm not sure, in all honesty, that they are going to do it, because as much as I appreciate, and I heard a lot, I know people who are match-going fans as well, and they have been really unhappy with the way the club is treating them in terms of, uprising the prices of the tickets every single year. It's more expensive, 5% every single year in the past few years. They're having problems with, they get season tickets, but they cannot go to the cup games. They need to, pay for it, separately. Like, there are a lot of problems. You could clearly see that the club is trying to make more money of those match-going fans, because they believe, we are having full Old Trafford every single week. If we uprise, or rise the prices of the season tickets, they are still going to go there. It doesn't matter. They are going to be loyal and they are going to support the club no matter what. I don't think, like you said, I don't think that's going to, happen. I believe that, there is always consequences for bad club politics. I think 3 years ago, it kind of was like, it was a huge surprise. It was a huge shock when they, stopped that Liverpool game 3 years ago. I mean, I was quite, like, it was insane, but, you could see clearly that the atmosphere around the Glazers and the Manchester United Football Club is finally starting to, how do you say it? They kind of showed to the world that something really doesn't work with a team that the Glazers have been poor owners for 15 years. But do I believe that another, how do you say it, thing is going to happen on Sunday? I honestly don't believe it. Maybe because of Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Brailsford and the other guys that came in and, kind of made some positive changes for now, right? They haven't gotten their hands on the club fully, because it's still, they just came in. But I don't think they're going to do it this Sunday, unfortunately.
Okay. So you think this could be posturing? You think that this could be posturing from the 58 with new owners coming in, like trying to assert their
I believe it. I think they want to, how do you say, they want to test the waters.
Yeah. All right. Before we get to you, Monday, I want to do some comments. First of all the way from Oklahoma, it's DK Wilson. Sorry I'm late. Well, at least he's put it in writing. I like this one from Michael Hill. Tiago being out is a real surprise. Right. We got V saying that she's a big fan of Nicole Dean's. She's also a huge Elvis fan, which is good to know. So thank you very much. Liverpool give the impression they don't care about cups, but they do want to win all games regardless of what side is selected. I mean, I would think you'd want that. Any professional footballer would have that attitude, apart from ours. And then Michael, who's on a bit of a roll tonight, is saying that he thinks the 58 wait to see if Hoyland is fit before deciding to get the game cancelled or not. And look who it is. It's Emma Kay. We haven't seen you for a while, Emma, or at least I haven't. I hope you're doing well. I've got an exciting segment on dogs at the end of the show. It's world class, so stick around for that if you like dogs. We've got Bart chatting some stuff about how he wants Klopp to do well. We have Andrew Williams in the house. So good evening to you. And this is actually a good point from Bart. Season tickets not just at Old Trafford, but Premier League as a whole. And for anyone who follows Stan Collymore, an Oviedo legend on Twitter, you will see that he's taken this up as a cause d'etre. And personally, OMONDI, I don't like the way that the club treats the fans. What do you think about this statement from the 58?
Yeah, and go back to one of the slides. Go back, because I was reading that. So the current rule so the 17-19 rule in particular, where seats cannot remain empty for more than 2 matches each season. So if you've got a season ticket, they're going to edge you out if you don't sort of fill the seat. Basically, they're staying here. I'll just give you about Arsenal fan. I've got 2 Arsenal fans I know. One of the guys from my football club on a Sunday, he goes to every home game, but he had to wait something like 7-8 years to get a season ticket. So there's a long list for Arsenal. So I can imagine the same for United. Then I've got a fan, my former gaffer, Johnny Core. It's like he must spend a fortune. I've never really asked in detail, but he goes away games and home games with Arsenal. He was over in wherever they were the other day, Portugal. He went to Portugal a few weeks ago, and he was up in Burnley or wherever they were up north the other day. It's just crazy. How do you afford it? But it's great. So I think football is a working class sport. You have to look after the fans, and especially if you want a good atmosphere at the stadium. As the famous quote from Roy Keane, you don't want fans eating prawn sandwiches and not having any interest in the game. You do see, foreign fans coming over. I think at Man United, you get like at the airport, you get loads of people coming in.
Yeah, day trip.
Yeah, these big deals they get from Scandinavia, from the Far East. People are coming in all over the world. That's great, but they've got to be part of the culture, I think, to make a great atmosphere. You don't want to go to a club, especially with the players, where the atmosphere is dead and we just become a corporate sort of fan base, which is not good. You do need to have that kind of authentic sort of Andy Tate, Vincent Bullock, and even Stuart Marshall kind of fan, where they go in for the love, for the passion.
Yeah,
they want to see something back. So that what creates a good atmosphere. And the most important thing at Old Trafford, I think, whether we make a new stadium, whatever, we need to have that sort of fan base in and give them access in. And if there is an issue about the prices, like they said, it is happening all over the Premier League, it needs to be addressed. So I am happy that there's been a statement of intent made by the 1958 group to sort of say, look, what about the people? Stop it, don't do it, the people, as Superman said in Superman 2.
Okay. Well, look, first of all, I've got some good news from those brave boys from Azerbaijan, Karabakh, at 2-0 up against Leverkusen. And with West Ham's result tonight, it is almost guaranteed that fifth place is now a Champions League spot. So the season's on. Look, Andrew makes one point, which is that if I pay for a season ticket, I want to be able to go on holiday too. And Emma says the 17-19 rule is fair. If you're not actually using it, then it should go to someone else who's been waiting years. It's a difficult one because I don't think the club should be telling you how to spend your time and things after you've spent the money. And the other thing is that like huge amounts of money are being made from a membership. There's a 20 quid membership that basically gives you nothing except the ability to get a ticket. It's to me, match-going fans are the lifeblood of this club. I know social media likes to think that we all sort of set the notion and set the thing, but it's match-going fans, and they should be treated as family. And I don't feel that Man United have treated match-going fans as family for a very long time. So I'm not happy about it.
Do you believe there is going to be a protest on Sunday, or there is going to be a disruption or something like that?
Yes, I think there'll be a protest. I don't think they're gonna call it off. But the 1958 are a very self-important group, and they like. I think that the Liverpool game still scares Liverpool at home. I think still scares United as a club for what happened. So this is of the year. This is the point where they are at their most powerful, and I expect them to exert some kind of influence. But I don't think they'll get the game called off. I just think that there'll be protests and so on.
I believe as well.
Okay, Right. This is a little bit boring, but we'll get through it quickly. This is how I think that Ten Hag is going to play football. And one thing that I wanted to ask the panel is that, and in chat, right, at Anfield away, we sat deep, we worked really hard, we got a 0-0. Can we do that at Old Trafford with our fans, especially with this kind of like a bubbling anger about the way the club is treating us? Do you think that we can play deep and stick in and go for a 0-0 or something like that? Will the fans accept it on Monday?
It doesn't matter what the fans accept. We have to get through. And we have to, one thing the fans should accept by now, after the 7-0, after the 5-0, and all these buttons we've been taking, we have to accept they're a better team than us. They're up there. They're getting 90 points. You know, this Liverpool side under Klopp have been fantastic. If you don't accept that they're better than us, then there's something wrong. You don't expect, to be going and beating this team regular, because it's not been happening. So, fan base, just calm yourself down. Try and trust in the tactics, trust in working on something to get the result, because it's not just the tactics. Sometimes Liverpool will dictate to you how they play. We talked about the game against Man City the other day, who's got loads of possession. Man City just didn't look themselves. They look so uncomfortable against this Liverpool side. So when they're on it, you have to be really mindful. And no matter what about sitting back or whatever, sometimes you're forced into that situation just by Liverpool, the way they play. They're very busy. They're very on your case a lot of the time. And time and time again, they're raiding. So we have to be mindful. I don't mind if we go there and we're forced back, as long as we're comfortable in those situations and the boys are communicating well and know where to pick up and know how to, as you said, manage the spacing. If you don't know about that, guys, go and check out Monday night's brilliant eye test show.
Yeah, I had a bit of a headache in that one, so it was low energy. But in the comments at the moment, Dora, we've got lots of people sort of giving their 2 cents on about the sort of season ticket situation. I kind of want to stay away from that topic now, because it's something that I think we're going to discuss in much more detail when the stadium plans are clearer. So we're not ignoring it. Like Andrew and Emma are having a nice chat, and V is asking some questions. I'll just answer V's question very quickly. You are allowed to give a season ticket to a friend or a family member or whatever, but they have to have a a membership that costs, I think it's 25 quid in order to receive it. Now, Dora, do you think that we can play really low block defensive football against Liverpool and have the backing of the fans?
I believe so. I agree with OMONDI in terms of I think that even the match-going fans who want us to, fly on the pitch and play bravely against Liverpool and try to win the game, realize that this team is not at its best. And I think that any rational person is going to see this fixture and say, okay, even though it's at home, Manchester United is probably going to have to, defend and try to take something from the counterattacks. And I think I think every rational Manchester United fan, even the match-going fans, are going to look at this game and say, okay, we need to, take the pressure from Liverpool and, divide their attacks and repel their attacks and try to catch them off the counter. I hope that that we get the same scenario as we did at Anfield, right? We were quite, we were defending throughout the whole game, and we had some, like Højlund and Garnacho had huge chances. We could have won that game, in my opinion. And I hope that Liverpool players lose their heads and start missing sitters and chances, and everything goes. But yeah, I agree. I don't think it should matter. Oh, like I would love for us to play. Unbelievable football, pleasing to see it. We score 20 goals every single game, but that's not realistic.
No, but it was a Captain McTominay performance at Anfield, I hasten to add. Right, we're just going to have a look at some comments. Right, Harley's got an interesting one. No high block against Liverpool. That will be a disaster. Steph wants us to keep it fight and then have a party with her fingers crossed. But with a rare good comment, Liverpool are a bit fatigued, unlike United. Rajat is saying Man United are very fatigued. And V says, we have to go and play Liverpool with no fear, but they're dangerous, and at times they want it more than their opponents. And then we got some stuff about a tight defensive organisation. All right. So, first of all, right, ever since we lost that horror show at Anfield, Erik ten Hag's been quite consistent in the way he's set up against the big teams. This is Arsenal, Manchester City, and Bayern Munich this year, where he's actually gone for quite a high block, right? You can, and this is how it works in the game. Is don't worry about this. This is from a goal kick. All these arrows are directing the runs that players have made. Anyone who's watched the eye test we did this against Spurs. We tried this against Brentford. It doesn't really work out very well. But the aim is to get us in a position like this, where we shut off one side of the pitch. We have a +1 on our back four. The 8, 10, and 6 are all picked up. You can't pass the ball to the goalkeeper because the 9's there. The 10 is applying pressure. And sometimes what we actually see is we see the number 6 jump his man to go to the opposing number 6, and the 8 and the 10 put super pressure on the centre-back there. I think that we've seen this a lot. And to be honest, it's actually been quite effective this year for like 80%, 90% of a match, but then we switch off. So, OMONDI, do you think that we might see something like this after all the work we've done on the eye test?
I think you've answered your question, yeah, because he has employed these sort of tactics in the big games. You have to, really, because he's felt 7-0, and that will, give you sleepless nights for sure. So, obviously, he's trying to employ these tactics to ensure that they don't score loads of goals against us. And if you can do that and remain yourself in the game, then you've got a good chance. But it's just about the stamina. And like you said there, switching off. You've got to keep that concentration level going. There's going to come a point in the game where you won't be able to actually manage this all the time. You might, and the pass might get through, and then you just have to adapt. But main thing is to follow instructions. They're playing tonight. We've had a few more days in them to sort of get things right. And hopefully these guys are getting drilled how to sort of perform and how to set up this sort of this strategy against them. And I think, for one, it's all right doing that, but we have to have the right personnel with players to do this, I feel. And we also have to have them fit and ready to go. And always they have to have the right attitude. They've got to realise now with that the FA Cup means a lot to us this season, maybe more than Liverpool players. So this has to be our cup final. And he did say earlier in the season, a couple of months ago, every game is cup final for us. And so I think we'd be more up for it than Liverpool players. They've got so many things to deal with at the moment. Europa League title race, and the FA Cup is just maybe bits less importance at the moment. So it's down to 3 things for me: personnel, fitness to maintain this, concentration, and attitude. That's 4, but I have just
Okay, I'm just going to look at the comments here. Rajat is asking, do mid-block work best against teams like Liverpool and City? Look, any defensive structure works well when it's executed properly. Ten Hag essentially wants to go more aggressive up the pitch because you've got, when you use a high block, you've got the security that you're doing crazy stuff as far away from your goal as possible. So it's actually more defensive in some ways than a low block. And it leads to greater rewards, is the thinking. We saw Liverpool go at Man City, like using a high block, and Man City did not look like one of the greatest teams of all time. But then again, Liverpool were juiced off their tits, in my opinion. We've got Stephanie saying 4-4-2 for United against top teams. That's a block. And I quite like this from Andrew. Any team that plays attractive football and want to win, I like. For example, Spurs. His least favourite team in the world is Atletico Madrid, who all my cousins support. And I've always been stunned how Simeone can convince players like Griezmann that they're really shit and that they need to play in a low block. I don't understand how he gets all these talented players to do it.
They went through last night against Inter Milan. They won, and they are in the quarterfinals. So maybe that shit football is actually working. And Inter Milan has been one of the best performing teams in the world this year, especially. They haven't lost a game in 2024. So it obviously works.
Yeah, it's more about. It's not. I don't think it's shit football. I like most.
Yeah.
I like most parts of football, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
But this is what I want to show you next, Dora. Is that when we play in a mid block, right? This is what we kind of do. So the black arrow is the ball going out, and these are all the movements that the players make. This is something we've seen time and time again. And well, we did Garnacho messed this up a few times in Everton, but essentially we get into a position like this, and straight away there should be something that you notice here in terms of massive space.
In the middle.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. There is a massive. Yeah. And of course on the right.
And the 4. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And this is how United are getting exploited time and time again, is that these two gaps are over. Like, if you look at the number 7 there, that move inside is a goal that Bentancur scored against us. It was essentially the Harrison chance that we went through on the eye test the other night is movements through there. So what I want to ask you, Dora, is that number 4, which would normally be Johnny Evans, is he the guy that's got to step into that space? Like, how are we going to, how are we going to stop these holes with the system that Ten Hag is using?
I think we should have another midfielder. We should play with 13 players to stop those gaps. But I'm really not sure, because, if number 4, goes from his position, then he leaves another space, a huge hole behind him. And number 9 and number 5 here needs to deal with number 9. But if the ball goes from that side, from the left side, number 9 has a clear chance of the goal, because it's the ball is going on his good side. So it's always a gamble, right? And that's my issue, right? You said it the best, BATHTIME. That's my issue with Ten Hag. We are constantly having these issues. It doesn't matter if it's Luton Town or is it, Manchester City. These circles are always the holes that we leave for the opposing teams to go into. I don't think that in this case, number 8 is probably Casemiro, if I'm not mistaken.
That's
or
Kobe.
No, that's Kobe. And every
6
time,
is Casemiro.
6 is Casemiro. Sorry. And every time you see, the opposing team doing this to us, Kobe Mino, for example, doesn't have. He's always unfortunately late. It's not his fault, right? It's just that the system doesn't work, because he's constantly left, by himself to deal with these players, and we are man marking and everything else. How do we do this? Please tell me, how do we fix this? I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't play that high block, or we should go for more midfielders, not just play with double pivot, but maybe play with 3 midfielders and try something else. I don't think that number 4 stepping there is going to fix anything, in my opinion. I think this is. I saw this situation too many times this season, where it doesn't matter if Maguire or Varane or Johnny Evans steps there. Yeah. There is always going to be either a goal or an opposing player is 1 versus 1 against Onana. So it's always a difficult situation, and I honestly don't know. Maybe try with 3 midfielders than 2 midfielders. I'm not sure.
It's interesting you say that, because there was one moment in the Bayern game where I remember Reguilon, who would be the number 3 there, followed his man across the pitch, and I'd never seen anything like it before from a defensive structure. But before we get to you, OMONDI, I just want to do the comments quickly before you have your say on this. First of all, we've got Craig Warby in the house. Good evening, Craig. I hope you're doing well. V's talking about Atletico Madrid, how they're his Spanish team of choice. Really, you should be supporting Real Oviedo. Stephanie Griffiths is saying, to quote Ten Hag, United must use our weapons versus Liverpool. And just for OMONDI, take our phasers off stun.
And we're wearing our red shirt away form. Oh, yeah.
What are you talking about?
Well, the red shirts in Star Trek, when they go to away missions, they wear red. They're the ones who die. So,
okay, brilliant.
It won't work because Liverpool will be wearing their away shirts, which is white or silver.
Right. Well, Andrew is saying Bradley, who is the young Tyro at right back, is going to be a big problem for us, especially if Lindelof is at left back with those galloping overhead like overlaps. We've got Molila Maletswa, and that is perfectly pronounced. I'm sure you'll all agree. I don't think I've met you before, so welcome to the Man United agenda. It's lovely to have you here. We miss players like Fred, high intensity and box-to-box legs to cover a lot of ground and spaces. I'm not completely sure that I think that any football team needs Fred, but I do understand the point you mean. You mean we need that kind of profile of a very mobile box-to-box midfielder, which essentially we just would love Kobe with Fred's legs. That would be fantastic. Amonde, talk to me about all these circles and lines that I've drawn for you.
Yeah, circles is like places where we don't want to give them space to play. You asked a question about what Johnny Evans or the number 4 should do in this situation. I think look, where the ball is at the moment, it's on the halfway line on the left-hand side. I think you should maybe, if you be reactive and push up a little bit. Like, so get in line, so 4 will be in line with a 6. Just squeeze up a bit to occupy that space, to cancel that space out. If you sacrifice a cross-field ball, fair enough. But I just think you just need to occupy that. We've been exploited so many times this season. Who was it the other day? Who's Harrison played for?
Everton,
yeah, Everton the other day. It's like he was ready for it. He made runs into those areas and he got the ball. So we have to sort this out. I just think being reactive, I think if we've got good defence, organised defence, that we're playing on a piece of string, together, and they move together at the same time. I think in this situation there, the ball's on the halfway line, in the corner, push up and occupy the area. And then you've got Onana behind you, that insurance.
That's such a great point. That's such a great point, Amonde, because with the low getting aggressive to press there as the number 2, Casemiro essentially is the left back. So the right back now. So Evans, Varane, Lindelof have got to push up and get in some kind of a line with him. Maybe not level, but in that kind of area. And I mean, the whole point of this system is it's meant to make us really hard to play through with that, because this is actually a 4-1-4-1 block. It's on a diagonal because it's trying to cut off part of the pitch. And with basically, if we shut the passes off into these spaces and the men around, it does pin a team in and it allows us to force them back. So I understand it in principle, but these players are not athletically capable of playing this. And also, I've been a bit disappointed in some games that the right-sided centre-back hasn't stepped up. So just 5 yards. Get out to your man. 5 yards is massive in football.
Can I just say, we saw Pepe playing for Porto the other day, 4 years old, and his communication and drive, enthusiasm, and he was getting that line up and pushing up. And everyone says, "Oh, how can Porto play so well against Arsenal and sort of deny them 1 goal in 180 minutes?" We got to play Arsenal soon. I think it's because of people like that, leaders in the back, who he would have been, people think he'd finished years ago. 40 years old, and he's still got the energy to read the game, communicate really well, and push up and deny them space. And Pepe was a great example of that yesterday.
Yeah. All right. Now, Dog of the Week and an important Dogs of History are coming. But now what I'd like chat to do is put in your team for Liverpool, like who you want to see, and we'll look at the solo 11. And just a quick one from Subvids. It's not just me. Anyone who does a breakdown makes it look like Heath is a buffoon. But, I don't know. All right. So we got the solo 11. So drum roll, please, Dora. It's here. All right. Amonde, you can see everyone. You know who they are.
Yeah. Very happy with the front three. I know Dora, we're going to come back to that, but the point about Haaland playing, maybe should come off the bench. Maybe. Bruno, Casemiro, Mainu. Don't mind that. We've got McTominay to come off the bench. A strong player there. And the back four, obviously, Dalot's gone back to left back if Wan-Bissaka's playing. I don't think it's going to be like that. I think because these guys are just coming back from injury, you cannot risk them getting injured again. I think Dalot will be playing right back, Wan-Bissaka on the bench, and Lindelof at left back as it has been. But otherwise, big up Solo. It's not too bad.
Dora.
You know what? I will agree with this back line, because I think for this game, Ten Hag is going to gamble and put Wan-Bissaka on the right back, because I think that Lindelof. Yes, I know it's a huge gamble, and I have a feeling that he's going to do it because Amrabat and Lindelof are diabolical on the left back side. And you mentioned it, during your analysis of how they had problems with Jack Harrison, for example, against Everton. I saw some of eye test earlier in the week.
You're welcome.
Sorry?
I said you're welcome.
Yeah. And, it feels like, Amrabat has been appalling, since he came in against City. He obviously cannot work there. He's just, galloping across the pitch and making huge mistakes, in my opinion. So, yeah, I think he will gamble for this one. And I know it is a lot, and I think it's ludicrous to say, because on one hand, I said, Højlund is probably not going to start but, in the attack, it's different, right? We had more, how do you say it? We experimented a bit. We had some alternatives, right? He could either go with Rashford again at the number 9, or just go with, false 9 with Bruno, or, even McTominay at times in front. We are more versatile in the attack than in the left or left back or right back position. But yeah, I think this is an okay team. My only question mark is about Højlund, and I believe that he probably won't start this game. If we start losing or we have 0-0 at the halftime, I believe that he could come in around halftime or 60th minute. Yeah.
I couldn't agree more, actually, because I think that our two big goal threats are Højlund and McTominay. I think that he will play he'll play the same team that we saw against Everton in the match before. And I think that Højlund will come on because you need to be able to bring someone off the bench to change the game. And those at the moment are McTominay and Højlund. And I think we had first of all, look at these bottlers from Asbai, from wherever they're from. This is the second time they've thrown away a 2-0 lead against Leverkusen. But we had my friend Molia, who's come in with a team, which is essentially he's putting Evans in for Maguire and keeping the same team. I think that Evans should start myself. I think he's been our best centre-back this year.
Yeah, but isn't he like knackered or something? Like he looked, he always looks rough after 70 minutes because he's not of age, and he's always doing great work in the back line. So it will be interesting. I actually forgot to mention that Maguire is also a question mark a bit, even though he's kind of said that he's ready. But yeah, I think that's a good point as well.
Okay. Is there anything else that you want to say about this Monday?
No, just want to say this is massive. I just keep repeating this over and over again. Every one of these players, I'm talking to you right now, please give it 110%, because like Andrew Williams is saying there, Liverpool have already won the League Cup. They're favourites to Europa League, and they're one of the favourites for the league as well. So let's stop them doing the FA Cup. Let's take it out of their hands. And no better place to do it at Old Trafford. It's not like we're playing away at Anfield, so we have to be on it. Please listen to the manager and concentrate with your job. Just do your job, and we'll be happy with that. It's a massive game. The more it's building up this week, I'm thinking, wow, can we do it? Can we actually beat Liverpool at Old Trafford to put a dent into their campaign? Yes, we can.
All right, chat. It's time for score predictions. I'm going to start with the panel. And unfortunately today, I don't think that I'm going to boo any predictions. Dora, You're praying.
Okay. A bit, yeah, a bit. You know what? I need to consider that. Like, I know that they won a cup with the youth team, they are flying, but I think everything, you know, with a lot of games they are playing, with a lot of injuries they have, I think we will have a draw, 1-1 draw at Old Trafford. I think it will be another draw for Manchester United on Sunday. This is me being positive.
Right.
So I hope that my some kind of positivity is going to reflect on the game on Sunday. But I think if we like Nunez, like I'm seeing Nunez flying in the last few weeks. He's been unstoppable. They scored like a bajillion goals. But I hope Harry Maguire and Johnny Evans teach him a lesson, and he misses 20 chances and he doesn't score. So hopefully that happens. So 1-1 draw. I predict that.
OMONDI, our big man, our positive friend.
Yeah,
sorry. It's an FA Cup. I'm so dumb. Okay, it will be 1-1 draw and then we will lose. So that's me being.
Is that you being positive?
Yes, I forgot it's an FA Cup. I'm so sorry. Oh my god.
This is why you need to read more, Dora.
Oh my god, no.
That's why I need Pretty Little Liars.
No, I need to sleep. I need to sleep like a normal person. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, guys.
Don't worry, Dog of the Day is coming to save you. OMONDI, you are a beacon of positivity.
Great show, by the way. I mean, just thinking about it, it's giving you so much food for thought to sort of decide what's going on. We've seen our lineup, we've seen the availability of Liverpool as well. We looked at the solo 11. We've looked at tactics as well, what we've done well against Liverpool in the past. So I'm a bit infused right now, and I think we can win 1-0. Don't go to extra time, just win 1-0. They're playing tonight. Their eyes are on a bigger prize, which is the league title as well. So I think we can nick a goal, because we demonstrated before. There's the evidence is there that we can deny them from scoring. We've had a 0-0, great result. One of our better results this season, I'd say, even though we didn't score. We stopped them from scoring, and they are monsters right now. So I think we could get a 1-0 win, hold out, and celebrate at the end of the game, and have a great post-match show with anyone, with Dora, Bath Time, and myself. We're the guys that do it, and hopefully Mr. B will do a wonderful watch along as well. And just going back to the vampire thing, no, but it's true. To kill a vampire, you have to put a stake in their hearts, and I think that's what we need to do to Liverpool. And the best vampire or Dracula that I know is Christopher Lee. Don't you guys remember? He was the best Dracula ever. And there's a film studio called Hammer Studios in the 70s. They used to like a whirl of horror movies, and that's where he sort of came on the scene. But Christopher Lee, without doubt, forget your Twilights, forget your blood this, blood that, or Blade. Christopher Lee would kick ass, and hopefully we will put a dagger in their heart this Sunday.
For me personally, the best Dracula is the Dracula from the Monster Squad. He runs around throwing dynamite at people. He blows up the Monster Squad's treehouse and then goes, "Meeting adjourned."
What is this? What's the Monster Squad?
I'll send you a clip later.
Okay, go do that. It sounds fun.
Any Monster Squad fans in chat, pop it in. First of all, are Liverpool away tonight or are they at home?
They're at home. Again, check side.
All right, let's have a look at what's going on now. First of all, look at these bottlers. 3-2. That's 5 goals they've given up in the last 15 minutes over 2 games. Absolute disgrace. Right, we've got Emma Kay saying 3-0 Man United win. Liverpool red card, preferably Gomez or Van Disney. So that, Emma, I'd love what you're drinking. Andrew, that's relatively positive for Andrew. Like 1-1 after 90 minutes, 2-1 in extra time. Molia is going 2-1 United. Yes.
Yay.
Yali, I think you're getting booed. He thinks we're going to lose 4-0.
Boo. Boo, boo, boo.
Steph, United edge it 2-1. Bruno Pen, Rasmus winner. I would bloody love a Bruno Pen. All right. Dracula chat. Oh, like apparently, I don't believe this is true, but it says we've got 46 people watching. Hopefully for important dogs in history. But give us a like if that number is actually true. V is going, Interview the Vampire is the only vampire film I've enjoyed.
It's good.
I mean, but the only vampire film you've enjoyed, like, okay. Go on, Dora. What do you want to say?
I'm reading about these Draculas, but the best one is Dracula from Dracula is Dracula Dead and Loving It from Leslie Nielsen.
Oh,
That is the best one.
yeah.
I don't care what anyone says. That is the best Dracula.
Yeah.
So, mic drop.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I have seen that. I love
Leslie Nielsen. I love that guy.
There are vampires in the early works of Lord of the Rings, so I quite like them. But for me, I really like Spike from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I really enjoyed that show when I was growing up.
Yeah.
But Andrew's gone for an absolute cracker, which is Count Duckula. Christopher Lee is on right now. Andrew loves the Monster Squad. Yale Bram Stoker Dracula is maybe the Dracula movie I like the most. I think that's Gary Oldman, isn't it? Bram Stoker's Dracula. It's got Keanu Reeves doing that sort of accent. Right, huge one here. Dusk Till Dawn with George Clooney. Excellent. Straight Double A is saying 2-0 Rasmus Brace. Vampires in Brooklyn. Is
Eddie
that
Murphy.
Eddie Murphy? Yeah, I think I've seen that. Dracula has some neck. Wind it in, please, Steph. Michael Morbius was pretty cool in Spider-Man animated series.
Yeah.
This feels more like your stuff.
Big up.
Mondo.
V. Oh my God. Yes. Wicked. Love that. Top draw. And in DC Comics as well, Batman fights Dracula as well. There's an animated movie with Batman versus Dracula.
And Andrew's saying Gary Oldman fought with the director throughout the film. But it's reminding me, actually, I did this weird thing the other day where on my recommended, these weird videos are coming up that summarize TV series over 45 minutes. And I watched about 2 hours summarizing a vampire series called The Strain. And it was quite cool because the vampires set off a nuclear bomb in order to create an eternal night. And I quite enjoyed that. I thought that was good from the vampires. It's good thinking. Do half vampires count, Blade? One drop. That's all you need. All right. Everyone here, I want you all to put likes in because it's time and you've all been waiting for it. I need a drum roll, Dora. It is Dog of the Week.
Aww.
So this is Dog of the Week. Omondi, do you know what type of breed that is or anything?
It looks like a mix, maybe a working dog, a shepherd dog or something. Looks like a mix. I wouldn't be able to work it out. I don't think it's very attractive, but it looks like a working dog, a very dog with a mission to do a job.
Can you stop dog shaming, please? Like, it's a lovely dog. This is Dog of the Week. This is Clarice. It's an Australian cattle dog.
Oh, that's right. It's herding, yeah. Good.
It's Jeff Besco's dog. This is the dog that is nursing him back to health. And absolutely delighted that someone has finally sent me a picture of a dog. A healer. He's helping him out there. I know my dogs, but not this one. Those cow dogs. Yeah, it's a cow dog, isn't it? It's a cattle dog. Clarice, Hannibal Lecter impression. I can't do... No, what are you talking about, Double A? A chupacabra. That's a goat-sucking vampire.
Yeah.
That's not Jeff's dog. Oh, bit of strange chat. Watch the recaps. Okay, so this is a viewer's dog. If you have a pet, send it to me. If DK Wilson is still around, he's been sending me videos that I haven't yet watched. But if you send me a pet picture, I will look at it instantly. So I'm giving this dog 14 out of 10. He's a very good boy. But we have important dogs from history. And this, I would hope that some of you know this story. But if you don't, let me educate you on Manchester United's past. This is Major, the dog who saved Manchester United. If anyone knows about this dog, pop it in chat, but don't spoil anything. Omondi, Dora, have you ever heard of Major the dog?
It is familiar. I think I read it years ago about this, but it slipped my mind. It slipped my mind.
That's why it's very important to read.
Yeah. Oh my God. I will.
You what? You done a vampire impression? Count
Yes.
Dora.
I will kill. Kidding.
Okay.
Please continue.
So I'm going to tell you the story of Major. Okay. So this is Major here. And Major, he went missing and he was found on Oxford Road, which is a very busy street in Manchester now. And he was found by the Davis family, who checked the collar and were able to get in touch with the owners. But the little daughter of the group was 12 and she loved the dog and worshipped it and didn't want to have to give it back. She thought it was wonderful. And this dog just so happened to belong to Harry Stafford, who was a Newton Heath player. And the father asked him what it would take for him to keep the dog. So Harry said he wouldn't sell the dog for anything in the world. Apparently, this dog was also an action star and saved him and his friend drowning at sea. But he relented when he found out, when he convinced Davies to buy Newton Heath and invest in its future. And under Davies, we changed from Newton Heath to Manchester United. We changed our shirt to red, white, and black. We upgraded the ground. We moved to Old Trafford in 1910. We won the league, and he saved us from bankruptcy. And it was all because of Major the dog, one of the most important dogs in history.
Wow. What a great story. Major
This
the
is
dog.
amazing.
This is a history lesson. I didn't know this at all. What breed is Major? It looks like a St. Bernard, maybe, or something like that.
Correct. St.
Oh,
Bernard.
St. Bernard. Okay.
I expected like you're going to put Laika, the first dog, in the space. Laika,
yeah. Laika's next week.
Oh, okay. Spoiler alert, or
Yeah.
someone like that. But this is absolutely amazing. I didn't know about this story. You learn something every day.
So,
isn't it incredible, Amanda?
Question. I'm being a conspiracy theorist again. If you go back a couple slides, it shows a guy with mustache. Is he the banker, the rich guy? Is he the rich guy? Okay. He looks to me like he's got one of those fake moustache on. He looks to me like who's the bankers? Who's those banker families from the World War?
I know who you mean. They're so famous.
Yeah, he looks like him. What's his name again? The famous bankers from the early 1900s. Oh, I forget their names now.
Rockefeller?
No, not Rockefellers. They were involved with the Titanic. They were involved. JP Morgan. That's the one. Yeah, thank
Morgan,
you.
yeah.
Yeah, that looks like a JP Morgan relative or brother. As soon as I saw the picture, I thought, is that JP Morgan? Because I'm very interested in those guys. But yeah, so this guy drew the story of Major. This guy here had the money to invest and create Man United Football Club from Newton Heath. This is what he's saying.
Yeah, this is how the investment came. This is how we became the great institution we are now. From man's best friend, Major.
Can I ask a question?
The dog.
Go back to the guy. What do you think of the fashions back then? What do you think, Dora? No, but does this like the bowler hat? They used to wear a lot of bowler hats and the suit, but the moustache as well. I mean, come on.
They kind of seem more classier back in the day, but I mean, can you even imagine even that style? If someone goes through my town, for example, in that style, I think no one would bat an eye. I think everything is back. People say, "Oh my God, 80s are back, 90s are back." You know what? Yeah. I believe 1900s or whatever you call it, you say it, are back as well. So, but I mean, I'm not a huge fan of these classy outfits, especially women's fashion, like dresses, crinolines,
Crinolines.
I don't know, maybe I went too far back into history, but they have huge dresses, you know, the hats and all that. It's classy, but it's not. I mean, I wouldn't like that. I wouldn't love wearing that, in all honesty, if I lived then.
Well, I mean, like for me personally, OMONDI, like I was obviously born and raised in Corby, which was a town that doesn't have a great reputation, and it wasn't the nicest place ever. And one of the ways that we turned around was actually by getting designer clothes in, because people are less likely to fight and scrap and go nicking if they're in nice clothes. So I'm very up for a return to fashion because of this kind of like eccentric fashion, because I think that a man with hat, glasses, and a three-piece suit with what I assume is a pocket watch there is less likely to start fighting. So let's get this back and let's keep the streets safe.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do some comments very quickly.
I just want to ask the people in the comments, how many of you guys own a suit?
All right, okay. V is saying, what a fantastic story. Nice bit of United history there. Swansea Jack, I'm not familiar with that, but I'm very up for taking any important dogs in history. That's the dog's bullocks. I am nice. I said bullocks, not the other one. Thanks to a little girl and her love of a dog. Amazing. It's fun. It's great, isn't it? Dogs above everything else in the world.
Yep.
Corby, little Scotland, I actually can play a cat. Most people on Corby speak a bit like that, actually. But yeah, I'm on date. Right, you want to quiz people about wearing suits and things? Go ahead.
No, I just think like I'm Jamaican, so a lot of my family came here in the 1940s, 50s, but the Windrush generation, and these guys that came over with sharp suits, that was all the rage. Yeah. Everyone had a sharp suit and a nice hat and thing, and they looked so like gentlemen, you know, so classy. And 2 generations later, look at me, I'm wearing a tracksuit and a do-rag and all this kind of thing. I don't even have a suit, maybe because I'm so big, I find it hard to get a suit that fits me. But I just think people should go back to that, because I think first impressions count. When I even look at the JP Morgan guy there, I'm like, okay, you know, it's gives you an air of you know, richness and class,
respectability.
You know? Yeah, respectability. That's the word I was looking for. So I like that, and I think we should go back to that, especially West Indians. You look fantastic in suits. Now you're wearing all these click suits and all these sort of you know, stupid designer wear and all these stupid colors. Suits are fantastic, and we should get back to that.
Yes, I own suits, to be honest. I think most people probably do. Like Andrew is calling for a socialist takeover. Dora, like the Slavs around you, are they in suits? What's the fashion?
I mean, it's like in a Western world, you know, normal clothes, urban clothes, casual clothes, you know, people who are working at the offices, you know, jobs where you need dress code, they're in suits. When they need to go to the weddings, they're in suits. So I think we are quite similar to you know, you guys. So don't worry, we're not that different. We are not that different.
Okay. Emma, with her potty mouth, is saying, I'm not wearing an effing suit to take care of little snot faces. I'm going to guess you're probably a teacher with that kind of attitude to children. And we're getting into more politics now. Look, I want to finish on important dogs in history and not discuss like socialism and fascism and who should be running train stations. But look, Matty Bassett, I hate wearing suits. It's not who I am. I agree with you. The only suit a man should wear is a tracksuit before he goes and plays football. But I have a lot of suits and I never feel comfortable in them. But I also like looking nice. It's important, certainly for my vanity. But anyway.
Speaking of suits, I think because we're playing Liverpool, I remember back, was it 1996?
Spice Boys.
The Spice Boys, yeah. So that didn't go well for them. But I would never wear stupid white suits like that. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, like what were they thinking? I mean, I love that bit. Do you remember that picture of all our lads in double denim down Deansgate?
Yeah.
Like that's
Rooney,
what we-
Rio, Phil Neville, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
All right, look, less about fashion from the look. We're ending the show. If there are, in fact, 47 people watching, really pleased that you spent it with us. We always try and do really good shows, and we get really good guests on, like Dora and stuff. So if you're watching in chat or whatever, comment. We're not going to be nasty and all this sort of stuff. I think we got a watch along with Mr. B at the weekend. There'll be shows on tomorrow. Follow us on social media. We love you all. And with that, it is a good night from me.
It's a good night from me.
And laku noć od mene as well.